गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः चिन्मयं व्यापि यत्सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरम् तत्फलं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव वेद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव जय गुरु ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. You can flip that switch if you wish. It's starting to cool off. Do we have Deepa?
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm glad you are here.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear me okay.
Okay.
What verse are we on? Chapter 7.
Chapter 7, number 27.
Icha dvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. By the delusion of the pairs of opposites arising from desire and aversion, O Bharata, all beings are subject to delusion at birth, O Parantapa, scorcher of foes.
So we're born into this condition of spiritual ignorance. Maya's not evil. It's not bad. It's just painful. So I am fond of the paradigm that Vidyaranya gives us. Again, the locus of Maya is Brahman. It is Brahman itself, which has its inherent Maya Shakti, which not only manifests all the names and forms, but also the beings who are in a state of spiritual ignorance. Now, this superimposition on Brahman, which is inherent in Brahman, is essentially neutral, is a sunset, good or bad, just or unjust, right or wrong. No, it just is. Is rain good or bad, just or unjust, right or wrong? It just is. Now, that's the truth of every single form, including all the people. But you and I have a secondary adhyasa where we superimpose on the phenomenal world our own judgments rooted in ignorance. It's because we do not know who we are. And that secondary adhyasa has the inherent quality of the dvandvas. Dvi means two in Sanskrit. So dvandva is the pairs of pairs, the pairs of opposites. Heat and cold, right and wrong, just and unjust, vicious and virtuous, beautiful and ugly, desirable and hateful. All these pairs of opposites are in my mind. I think it's the bard Shakespeare who said, nothing is either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Somebody said it. I have to look it up. But it's true. It's true. It's so obvious in our contemporary political dialogue. People on both sides are convinced I am right. My party is right. The other people are so wrong. And in truth, it's just our judgments on a world that's essentially neutral. Simply is. So, what Krishna is saying, we as yogis need to practice this sama drishta, this equality of vision, understanding when the situation is conducive, meaning just based on my own past actions and experiences. I decide, oh, this is a good situation. The mind is happy. When the situation is non-conducive, again, based on my own past experience, based on my own ideas, I say, non-conducive, mind is unhappy. So we want to stand back and just watch the mind, watch this incredibly mechanical process. Now, because of my delusion, I always externalize it. My mind tells me that person, place, thing, or condition is right, just, lovable. That particular person, place, thing, or condition, they're really wrong. They're bad. They're mean. The truth is, shunyata, they're void. It's the speed of light, good or bad, just or unjust, right or wrong. Just is. So first, the yogi has to understand that the reactivity, either positive towards something or aversion negative towards something, is all in my mind. And you know me, I love these little slogans which have helped me in my sadhana. One of them is, it's a spiritual axiom that if I've disturbed, no matter the cause, I'm the one with the klesha. I have a expectation. I have a craving, an attachment. I have an identification. All things. Another one. Nobody has the power to make me feel anything. I have to believe that good and bad are out there. So the practice here is let the impressions of the world pass through us. We want to have a mind like a sieve. Water just runs through. Let all the information pass through. Now, the hard part, what we want to do is personalize it. It's about me. No, the other person is just doing their thing. As soon as I make it about me, then either, oh, that's so nice, more, or how could you say that about me? And the practice is let it pass through. Any thoughts on this before we go on? Now we work at it. Sometimes we can remember to practice the samadrishta. Other times we forget. We get identified and attached. No blame. When we remember, oh, Koham, who am I? Oh, that's right. Chidananda Rupaha. Oh, my nature is bliss consciousness. None of the names and forms touch me. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman alone is real. A phenomenal world, gross and subtle. Mithya, illusion. Next verse.
येषां त्वन्तगतं पापं जनानां पुण्यकर्मणां ते मोहनिर्मुक्ता भजन्ते मां दृढव्रताः. But those men of virtuous deeds whose sins have come to an end, who are freed from the delusions of the pairs of opposites, and steadfast in vows, worship me.
Yes. So, first of all, let's look at these words, punya and papam. There are exoteric meanings of them, outer meanings of them. So all of the religious teachings have moral codes. In the Judeo-Christian, I guess in the Islamic as well, you'll have to help me out here, Atik. Do Muslims honor the Ten Commandments?
Yes, Jim, they do that in their own way. Morality and care for others is a big part of their religion.
Yeah. And you have negative as well as positive. Don't steal, don't covet your neighbor's donkey, etc.
Yes.
And the same thing, we have all sorts of Vedic injunctions of things we are to do and things we're to refrain from doing. And if you do the good stuff, and this includes, depending on your particular caste, whether or not you're enjoined to do ritual. Those people who are born as Brahmins, they have certain pujas and yajnas that they're supposed to do on a regular basis, daily. Others don't have to do that. Some castes, oh, you're supposed to be vegetarian. But for example, if you're Kshatriya, then it's okay to eat meat. So what should we do? How do we know what is punya? How do we know what is papa? Punya means merit, papa means sin. So we have to understand that the purpose of these observations are about attaining chitta shuddhi, purity of mind. I can remember in 1994, and I was traveling all over India. And I used to travel on the train. I would go second class so that I would be in a car with other people. It was largely students and families, but you got to meet people and talk to them. And, I'd wear a dhoti and a kurta, and they thought, oh, this is really strange, a white guy dressed like this. And there were many very religious people who would come up and start to talk to me. And I remember this one woman, and she was very proud of her purity. So in her family, when they ate, they never let their fingers touch their mouth. So she would take the food and she'd squish it into a little ball and then throw it into her mouth because she was so pure. Punya. If she were to touch her mouth, for her, that would be papa. Many, many cultures have dietary restrictions. There's the kosher laws within Judaism. You have halal. Isn't that what it's called, Atik?
Yes, Jim.
Yes. Now, the Master Jesus said something that is far more important. A person is defiled not so much by what they put into their mouth as by what comes out of it. So I am far more one to suggest, like the Buddhist teaching on right speech. Is it kind? Is it truthful? Is it necessary? Is it timely? If it doesn't meet those four things, keep your mouth shut. That's a lot more important than whether or not you eat spicy food or decide that you want to eat a pork chop. Now, let me give you definitions of punya and papa. Punya, any activity, gross, meaning a physical activity, or subtle, a mode of thinking, which is conducive to quiescence of mind, is punya, merit. Antithetically, any physical activity or mode of thinking and feeling that agitates the mind, grossifies the mind, is papa. Now listen very carefully. This can shift Let me give you a very real world example. So those of us who are working with addicts and alcoholics, first thing we tell them to do is put the plug in the jug, no funny cigarettes, no white powders or pills. What about smoking? Don't worry about that right now. What about coffee? Don't worry about that right now. What about eating lots of candy? Probably that's a good thing because you metabolize sugar much the way you metabolize alcohol. So what will frequently happen in the first 3, 6 months of sobriety, person puts on weight. So eating sugar, continuing to smoke, drinking coffee is punya because it helps people quiet down. It's a hell of a lot better than drinking and using drugs. But after a year, someone may say, I just can't take it anymore. I think it's time for me to quit smoking. Jai, okay. Oh, I've put on 30 pounds this past year. I really need to do something about my weight. Okay. So the same activity can be punya at one point, and then as the mind becomes purer, it becomes papa, meaning it's conducive to quiescence at one stage. After a while, it's conducive to grossification or agitation. And if you listen to your body and watch your mind, this will become clear. So, in the beginning, it is important for us to have subhaj, auspicious desires. Kathopanishad says it very clearly. In the very beginning, when Nachiketas is in the realm of Lord Death, Yamaraj, Lord Death says, don't ask me important questions. Nachiketas wants to know when a person dies, are they or are they not? And finally, Lord Death says, okay, I'm going to give you the teaching now. First thing he says is, two paths, two roads approach a person. I love the language. It's not like we approach the two roads. They approach us. Shreyas and Preya. Shreyas, the electable, the good, that which is conducive to this quiescence of mind. Preyas, literally that which is dear to me. Swamiji used to call it the electable and the delectable. All those things that we want to engage in to fix my low-level restlessness and agitation. I think a modern day word is acting out now, or self-soothing. Crazy term. So the yogi learns to turn the mind towards what's good for me. And that's a process. That's a process. But in time, when the mind has gained this chitta shuddhi, this purity of mind, this sattva, then it becomes capable of doing the deeper realms, flights of meditation, discrimination between the self and the non-self. The mind can tune up to some degree, so we get a taste of the bliss of our self-nature, this Atmaramana. This is the worship of Krishna, because here Krishna is yourself. Now, when it says worship me, worship the self, doesn't mean go buy yourself more jewelry or take a bubble bath. We're not talking about pampering the body or the ego. We're talking about reveling in the self, Brahmananda. Any thoughts on this? So how do I know if something is punya or papam? It's pretty simple. Does it bring you peace? Or does it bring you agitation? Do you feel cleaner, purer? Or do you feel heavier and grosser? Any thoughts on this? Now, we do get guidelines in the scriptures, things that over thousands of years, people have found that, this is an intelligent way to live. This other, no, doesn't work too well. Next verse.
Jara marana mokshaya mamashritya yatanti ye te brahma tadvidu kritsna madhyatmam karma chakilam. Those who strive for liberation from old age and death, taking refuge in me, they realize in full that Brahman, the whole knowledge of the self and all action.
Yes. So old age and death. And here it's not just the old age of the body, it's the old age of everything. Jobs, cars, business, houses, death, loss. Everything in the world of name and form is impermanent. All. So the intelligent person strives for something real. And here Krishna is very clear. He's in a full state of yoga. When he talks about himself, when he's talking to Arjuna, he's not talking about his physical form. Krishna is Brahman, which is yourself. And again, the Master Jesus said much of the same thing. He who has seen me has seen him who sent me. I and the Father are one. I am the way, the truth, and the life. You can switch the verb. I is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through I. It's because Jesus was in a full state of yoga, like Krishna. So it's not, oh, I'm going to worship Krishna out there. Then I finally meet it. Hey, dude, good to see you. And he says, okay, Jim, here's Brahman over here. Meet Brahman. No, that's not that at all. Any thoughts on this? Next verse.
सादिभूतादिदैवं मा सादियज्ञं च ये विदुः प्रयाणकालेऽपि च मां ते विदुर्युक्तचेतसा. Those who know me with the Adibhuta, Adideva, and the Adiyajna, even at the time of death, steadfast in me, know me. And Adibhuta here is explained as pertaining to the elements, Adideva as pertaining to the gods, and Adiyajna as pertaining to the sacrifice and all perceptions.
Yes. So we use the word yajna way back in chapters 3, meaning perception. So it's the fire of yajna is the fire of perception. So what is the deeper meaning of this? Adibhuta, Adibhutani, the elements. What is the material cause of the phenomenal world? All gold ornaments, the material cause is gold. All clay pots, the material cause is clay. All of the names and forms, what are they made of? What is the material? It is Krishna. It is Brahman. All of the forces of nature, Adidaivika can be termed as that. Presiding principles governing fields of human endeavor, all of it is Krishna. It is Brahman. And in every perception has what we call the triputi. A knower, knowing, and known. Who is the knower? Who's the ultimate knower? I, Krishna. The praman, the means of knowledge. Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, emoting, thinking. Brahman. And all that is seen, heard, taste, touch, and smelt, an emotion, a thought. Brahman. Sarvam kalvidam Brahma. All this is verily law. There's no otherness. Sarvamaya, Sarvamananda. It's all Maya. It's actually all bliss. Going on.
Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Supanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjun Samvade Jnana Vijnana Yogo Nam Saptamo Dhyayah. Wait, I'm looking for the English, sorry.
Thus in the Upanishads, the glorious Bhagavad Gita, the 7th chapter ends entitled Knowledge and Understanding or Wisdom and Experience. However, I forget, can't remember how it's translated.
Yeah, I don't have the English in my book.
Oh, but you
Sorry.
get it. It's the end of the 7th
Yeah.
chapter.
Mhm.
All right, moving on, chapter 8.
Arjunavacha Kim tad brahma kimadhyatmam kim karma purushottama adibhutam cha kim prokta madidevam kim uchyate adi yagya katham kotra dehesmin mad dehesmin madhusudana prayana kale cha katham.
Are you still there?
I think her video froze or her internet is frozen.
Deepa? We lost her. Amini, do you have the text in front of you?
Can go get it, Jim.
I'm
But it'll
sorry.
take me a couple minutes. Oh,
We
she's
got her
back.
back.
Sweet.
We got
Okay,
her
just
back.
kidding. Okay.
Sorry, my connection blipped for a second. Did you hear the English?
We got most of the Sanskrit. It's
Oh,
like
you lost
3
me at
verses
Sanskrit.
all at once, isn't it?
It's 2 verses at once. Yeah.
Okay. So the English?
What is that Brahman? What is the Adhyatma? What is action? O best among men, what is declared to be the Adibhuta? And what is Adideva said to be? Who and how is Adi Yajna here in this body, O destroyer of Madhu? And how, at the time of death, are you to be known by the self-controlled?
Now we have the introduction of another really important term, Purushottama. The dualists will translate this as the supreme personality of Godhead. The only thing you need to know about God is you're not it. You're a worm, you're a creature, on your knees, surrender to God. God is everything. It is the unknowable, infinite other. That is a wonderful place to start for the bhakta, the devotee. But the word purusha, it does mean person, but it's an ancient, ancient word. In fact, in Rig Veda, one of the oldest sections of it, maybe 10,000 years old, is the Purusha Sukta, the hymn to the universal person, where it uses the human body as an allegory for the universe. So when we have Uttama Purusha, what is the ultimate essence of what makes us a person? And the thing I love about this word is it's so easy to start thinking of Brahman as an it. Oh, it's consciousness. But actually, it's a who. It is Bhava. It's being. What makes you you? Well, initially, I think it's my body. That's a person. But your body has changed. Your body, in fact, is an object of awareness. We have ideas of self. I'm smart, I'm educated, I'm sensitive, I'm caring, I'm generous, I'm fearful, I'm judgmental. We may have all these ideas about self with a small s. But all of those are qualities and feelings of the body mind. You are you. You're a being. You're conscious. You're sentient. You're not inert. God is alive. God is life itself. And it's you. So this meditation on the deep meaning of Purushottama is really marvelous. All right, so this 8th chapter starts with breaking down the questions we had in the last verse of the 7th chapter. Going on, let's see how Lord Krishna breaks it down.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Aksharam Brahma Param Swabhavotyatma Muchyate Bhuta Bhavodbhavakaro Visarga Karma Samgita Adibhutam Sharobhava Purushashchadi Devatam Adi Yagyohametrava Mevatra Dehe Deha Bhutamvara. The Blessed Lord said, Brahman is imperishable, the Supreme. His essential nature is called self-knowledge, the creative force that causes beings to spring forth into manifestation is called work. Adibhuta, or elements, constitutes my perishable nature, and the indweller, or the essence, is the Adi Devata. I alone am the Adi Yajna here in this body, O best of the embodied.
So, lots of mystic symbolism here. So let's break it down thought by thought. So the first idea,
Brahman is imperishable, the Supreme.
so here Krishna echoes what the Upanishads say. Brahman is birthless, changeless, deathless. Prajnanam Brahma. Brahman is consciousness. Doesn't rise, it doesn't fall, it goes nowhere. Goes by many names in many, many cultures. Next idea.
His essential nature is called self-knowledge, the
Yeah.
creative force that causes
Wait,
beings to
wait, wait,
spring.
wait.
Okay.
Let's do self-knowledge first. So it is the inherent nature of Brahman to be self-evident. How do you know you are you? You do not see, hear, taste, touch, or smell yourself. It's just your body. You're not a feeling, you're not an emotion. Emotions are things you know. You're not a thought. You can have a thought, oh, I'm Jim. But that's not the direct experience of I-ing. Yet you are not unknown. I'm me. How do you know it? You do not see, hear, taste, touch, smell, emote, or think yourself. But you are not unknown. And you are Swayambhu, self-evident. Swayam Jyoti, self-luminous. You know yourself, not as an object. Now, here's the great cosmic joke. Everybody already has it. The only people who doubt that they exist are the Shunyavadins. They think they don't exist. That's an absolutely unverifiable position. Oh, I've experienced my own disappearance. And to whom did that occur? So its nature is self-realization, self-evidence. Next idea.
The creative force that causes beings to spring forth into manifestation is
Yes.
called work.
So this Maya Shakti is the inherent power of the infinite. Just like it is the nature of a mirror to have objects reflect in it. It's the nature of crystal, even though it is stone, objects appear in it. So also it is the nature of Brahman. For the entire world to arise in it. And part of its Maya Shakti is the world moves. It works. Even the word Jagat, which we use to describe the phenomenal world, it goes jugga, 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 jugga. Keeps she chugging along. It's always moving. So this forking, there's the knower, nirguna Brahman, Brahman without qualities, and the known, saguna Brahman, Brahman with qualities. The knower is achalam, it never moves. Prakriti, saguna Brahman, the phenomenal world is always moving. Its nature is karma. Next idea.
Adibhuta, or elements, constitutes my perishable nature.
So these elements, earth, air, fire, water, and space, or ether. I had a lot of trouble with this in my early sadhana because I just thought it was bad science. And it's actually connected to the phenomenon of perception itself. And you've heard me do this routine before. If you see the coffee table here in my living room, it's made of wood. Wood is made of cellulose. That's basically carbon. But if I'm dreaming about the coffee table, is it really made of carbon? What's it really made of? Seeability, hearability, tasteability, touchability, smellability, all in various divisions and recombinations. So each object is unique. So these are the bhutani, the elements, the tanmatras. Vedanta thunders. The material world is not solid and separate from consciousness. It becomes easy to understand if you just go to the dream state. You are the God of your dream. If you understand how all the stuff appears in your dream, that's a microcosm of the infinite. Next idea.
The indweller or the essence is the Adi Devata.
So to whom does everything occur? To me. I seem to be inside my body, peeping out, a locus of perception. But who is that I that's the indweller of everything? Now, even things which don't seem to have sentience, they have sat. They appear to exist. The chair is, the table is, the sofa is, Vinayak's body is, the isness of it, the such, is borrowed, as it were, from consciousness. Just like all the things in my dream, even though they're inert, they're imagined. The material cause of them is my mind in the dream. Material cause of this world is consciousness. Next idea.
I alone am the Adi Yajna here in this body, O best of the embodied.
So here, this is a subtle point. Why do I do anything? The human mind is a pleasure seeker, pain avoider mechanism. From the moment I get up in the morning to the moment my head hits the pillow at night, all I ever want to do is find the good by my highest understanding of it and avoid misery. What I do not know is, where is the good? So every yajna, sacrifice that I do, is in fact a worship of me. I'm going to go to a concert. When I go to the concert, how am I going to feel? Happy. That's a taste of myself. I'm going to go make love. How will I feel when I make love? Oh, very happy. That's a taste of myself. I'm going to have a good meal tonight. How will I feel when I have a very good meal? Happy. That's a taste of myself. I accomplished something meaningful at work. How do I feel? Happy. That's a taste of myself. The human mind is always worshiping the self, just doesn't know it. And usually by a mediated, convoluted, difficult process. The God that is propitiated is me. Next idea.
That was the last idea in that
All right.
shloka.
Next verse.
Antakale cha mameva Smaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshaya. And whosoever, leaving the body, goes forth remembering me alone, at the time of his death, he attains my being. There is no doubt about this.
So the promise here is, if our minds are fixed on Lord Krishna at the time of death, we do not reincarnate again. We go to Swarga, a heavenly realm where we exist until the end of the age. And then at the end of the age, we attain final liberation. Maybe. It can also mean for the foolish person who lives this life and goes, well, maybe it would have been better if I'd been an opera singer. Maybe it would have been better if I'd been a Russian ballerina. And those desires impel us into a new incarnation. They say for the jnani who's left the world, all the desires are finished. The cause for reincarnation is gone. Now, all of this may be true, may not be true. Let's look at something far more direct. I love what Socrates says in Plato's, I'm pretty sure it's in the Phaedo. He says, what else is philosophy, which was his word for yoga, but practicing dying? What do we do in meditation? I withdraw my attention from the body, from the prana, from my feelings, from my thoughts. I even go beyond ignorance. And what is the deep inside? Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahma. So at the time of death here can also mean the deepest moments of meditation. And we have reason to think of it this way. In yoga, we have our discussion of the Pancha Vayu, the five subtle airs. The main prana is divided into five subsidiary ones. Prana, inhalation, apana, exhalation, dhyana, circulation, samana, digestion. I may have reversed those two. I always get them confused. But the last one is the one that's so interesting. Udana. Udana governs thinking. But it also is the ejection button when we die. So it is that force, that pranic impulse that ejects the subtle body out of the physical body at the time of death. Now listen carefully. Udana is also the energy of meditation. So many scriptures will call the death of the jnani the last conscious exit from the body, meaning they may have had other conscious exits from the body in deep meditation. So my advice, read the scripture. You may have faith in it. But as a yogi, my invitation is always ruthlessly discard, set aside everything that is not your direct experience. Swamiji used to say, blind faith is stupid faith and will fail us in a crisis. These particular principles are spiritual hypotheses. Now, prove or disprove them in the laboratory of your own mind, of your own direct experience. So right here, right now, Krishna is saying, find out who you are. And you'll find out who Krishna is. And you will go beyond birth and death. Right here. Any thoughts on this? All right, next verse.
Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam त्यजत्यन्ते कलेवरम् तं तमेवैति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भावभावितः. Whosoever at the end leaves the body, thinking of any being, to that being only he goes, O Kaunteya, because of his constant thought of that being.
So, antithetically, if at the time of death some desire arises to be this, that, or the other thing, Krishna here is saying, to that we will go. Now, what if I've spent my whole life as a yogi, and then as I approach death, I'm very sick, and I'm lying in the hospital bed, and a good-looking nurse comes in, and I go, and I die. Is all my yoga lost? No. If you have any friends who've had near-death experiences, what usually happens when they come back and talk about it, they're out of the body, they're usually up above looking down, they see the physical body, the doctor's trying to start their hearts again or whatever. And then the scene shifts and there's like a tunnel, and frequently beings will be there to greet them. And then there's a light. And then there's a judgment of our lives. And it's not, you did this bad. This was very good. But our whole life passes before us. And we see what's really important. Those apparently small acts of kindness, of generosity, of forgiveness. Our academic credentials, our money, our houses, none of that matters. So we get an opportunity to remember what's really important. Now, if we have a strong, strong desire for those people with near-death experiences, that's why it's near death. They were pulled back into the body because of an attachment, usually to another person. So here what Krishna is saying is, if I have a deeply rooted idea, it would have been better if I would love to be a king or really, really rich. Elon Musk. That sets up our future lives. But you don't have to believe in reincarnation, even in this very life. If you sit long in meditation, what you will find is certain thought structures will arise over and over again. It can be fear, it can be resentment, it can be food, it can be sex. These are our attachments, which are the things that pull us away from a deep, profound silence. So this is why, if you want moksha, freedom, it means the annihilation of all the vasanas. It means giving up all our attachment. Now, you can't do it as an act of will. We only renounce something through insight. When I see the inherent defect of it. Defect doesn't mean, oh, it's dirty, bad, awful. It means I have really seen that whatever pleasure I can get from it is small and temporary. Not worth it. And for many of us, this can take lifetimes. But if we have mumukshutva, the burning desire for liberation, if we have padama prema, the supreme devotion to God, then the world falls away easily. Doesn't mean we go live in a cave. We do our duty. That's not what our treasure is. There's a story in the Christian scriptures where a young man comes to Jesus. He's a lawyer. And he says, Master, Rabbi, excuse me, he calls him Rabbi, teacher. What is the greatest commandment? And Jesus says, how do you read the law? There's 613 laws. Which is the most important? The young man says, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and soul and mind and strength. The second commandment is like unto the first. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And Jesus says, you are very close to the kingdom of heaven, meaning you're close to realization. And he says, go sell all that you own and come and follow me. And the young man went away with a heavy heart because he was a man of great wealth. And there's our problem. Yeah, I want God. Yeah, but I want to hang on to the world. If you're hallucinating the snake onto the rope, as long as you keep smooching that snake, you won't see the rope. All right, we'll quit here. What verse are we on for next week? Is there anybody online anymore?
Yeah, we're on verse 7 next week.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Om Tat Sat.